Hello and welcome, or welcome back. My name is Dina with Empressivewarrior. I have a few cards laid out here on the table, and it, to me, looks a little bit like a love message. But this, I guess, could, for some of you, be happening in a different area of life. But the basic looks like something that you've been on a journey for a long time in your purpose driven life and experience. It's like you trying to go out and give back in some type of a way. There's an opportunity knocking on your door here, showing up as the light of the world, coming in to, it's like you're calling, literally knocking on the door, and crossing it is the journey. So I don't know if you've been preparing for this your whole life, consciously or subconsciously, but it looks like you've been feeling in the past like, even though you had expectations for your journey and you were prepared for some of the good stuff to come out of it, in the past it felt like things just kept burning down or falling through, or that people weren't on the same path. And so if it was a career path, let's say you've been through multiple situations and the people weren't right, or it was in the wrong location, or it was not above board, or in the wrong, it was the right people in the wrong product or something like that. But it looks like it's just been burning down and you've been looking for a way to get out of the old shit show, is kind of how it's coming through with this burning ship. It's like the journey has just it's cost you a lot. It has made you elevate to look out for yourself and for your own best interests in this 17 card. So in order for you to rise above something and to accomplish your dreams here, something had to be almost taken out of your life, I want to say, to force you to choose a different path, I feel. So let's say that you thought you were here to be a counselor, so you've got all this psychology background, and maybe then you worked these jobs in human resources and you're like, oh, well, that's not the right thing. But then you find a way to, let's say, incorporate it with hands-on healing, let's say, for instance, or some kind of holistic practice. And so even though you've been a gardener and a teacher and a counselor, all of a sudden now you can go off on your own and you've got all of this together. So it kind of seems like something fell apart so that something else could fall together in your past. And it looks like you've been busily for probably over a decade from what it looks like. For some of you, it could be for the last 17 years, or from 2017, or for the last 10 years. I'm seeing the 10 here. Right. And so you've got all these pieces that have been falling apart to give you the resources to put back into something else. And it feels like it's reawakening parts of your Akashic heritage and memory here from past parallel lives, whatever you want to call it. And we've got some ancient Egyptian architecture here in the Ace of Keys, showing that you have some type of access to sacred knowledge. And all of these scrolls of wisdom here laid out on this table before this couple is building some type of legacy or plan, or could be a homestead or a business or social media presence. It could be a web store, a web page, building a book piece by piece, chapter by chapter, word by word. But it seems that your vision includes another individual, and I'm not sure that all of you have had the right people in the right spots thus far. It's like I'm seeing in this, there's some level I feel with these two that doesn't quite seem right. They seem like not the not a matched pair to me when I look at this card. And so in the recent past, maybe you had something and you really thought that you were building in a similar way, whether for a business partnership or a love relationship or something like that, or even like having a very clear vision of what you want to accomplish, but your approach was maybe off just a little bit. And so it didn't yield the results that you wanted. And so I feel like that what you really want is other masterful, intellectually sharp individuals that understand the mechanics and the blueprints of what you're putting together, not somebody that you constantly have to field questions and make a bunch of decisions on, but an individual who speaks your language. So the King of Scrolls would be the master of what you're putting together. So somebody who can be not only a contributor, but equally yoked, if not more experienced in certain areas, so that one individual can be delegated to do something that they're super good at while it frees you up to do other things that you're more inspired to do or more skilled at. So this division of resources, division of responsibilities, and building a cohesive, collaborative vision here, something that the two of you can really both say, yes, that's what that's the journey that I meant to be on all these years, even though maybe for some of you, you've had a divorce or you've had some type of business that didn't come through, or um, or something that needed to be revised. And then coming in the near future, we've got 22 adsum. It's Latin for present. So you're here for it. You're talking to your guides, you're revising, you're learning, you're trying to be this childlike spirit. And in your research, it almost looks as though uh, the individual from this past or parallel life, whether it's a business partner or something else, it looks as though while you're in the midst of being delighted by spirit and doing your practice and doing your whatever study or redrafting of your enterprise, that this individual in the background steps forward doing similar things in the same place. And it doesn't, she doesn't look the same, but he looks like he could be of a similar, like they're both I mean, to me his face looks very similar, and he's even got that easygoing nice smile. It's like somebody who, they don't need a reason to smile. It's their baseline. And so they walk through life with a friendly demeanor. And so that might be what captivates you to begin with. But your spirit team, guides, guardian, or your intuition, your higher self, has been steering you into certain directions to take part in certain events in order to, if you haven't met the right people, to put you in the right spot at the right time. So we've also got, this individual looks also very similar to these other two, and looking deeply into his roses, it's like his inner sanctuary, his emotional container is very rich and lively and full of growth and abundance. You can see that this is an individual who cares about what he cares about, he, she, or so on. But they also have their own walls here in the background. So there's something that they've already built for themselves because of needing that security to have a place to be free and open in their own space, it looks like. So it may be that this person is an architect, or you are an architect, or just an architect of an idea. So you're coming through then as this, well, confusing enough. I was reading the King of Roses as the other individual, but I do have quite a few men at 10:10 on the timer here that watch the readings. So this may be a reading geared more towards the masculine or towards the masculine aspect of yourself if you are not masculine. But so far in the main crux, we do have just a couple females, but most of the cards depict a male main character here. So then this King of Roses would be you having this rich inner life and having the security and built a foundation for yourself. But how other people are viewing this comes across as two worlds. So it looks like you've got a very rich and busy inner life. It looks like everything is clean and orderly, and that it's almost as though some of you may be engaged in old practices, because we've got a lot of old things going on here, such as this spinning wheel turning wool into thread into yarn, spinning a yarn. Maybe you're a storyteller, and yeah, writing a story or something. She's also got the laundry, she's got the broom, she's got the fireplace going. Everything's clear, clean, and well kept. I'm seeing what appears to be Buddhist flags in the background in a temple nearby. So this is somebody who has a lot of spiritual aspirations and clarity, as well as a lot of grit and determination and commitment to doing things themselves to develop a rich life. They like to let's say chop the wood instead of use a log splitter, or they would do the dishes instead of using the dishwasher. It's somebody who's not afraid to put in the time, effort, and energy to make something the way that they would want it, and they cherish those old skills and probably learn a lot about that. So this is, again, the way that people are seeing you is like you have a private space that's well ordered and has a lot to show for it, and pays homage back to the ancient ways. So you are somebody who's bringing that forward into this time. But it almost looks like you're pacing here, waiting for someone or something. And then we have, in the position of your fears and hopes, we have this Queen of Forces. And the Queen of Forces is night and day, somebody who's solid and is both transparent and friendly and hopeful, as well as deep, not superficial. Somebody who has depth and has philosophy and thoughts and can give positive and constructive feedback depending on the situation. Somebody who is a force to be reckoned with, that can be your equal in this way. Somebody who is also sensual and alive and charismatic. Somebody who's not dull and leaves you feeling uninspired or misunderstood. This is somebody who is passionate and engaged. And so this is probably what you're wanting, is a restart and feeling a little bit more turned on by life in this time, because there's this whole like, I hope that this journey isn't going to blow up again in my face. I've got all this going for this. And you've got this promised land. You've got this old ancient memory that's teasing your senses and saying it is possible. They're just waiting around the next corner type of a thing. And then in the outcome position, we have the Queen of Scrolls, the King of Keys, and the Increscent Moon, which is interesting because in the hopes in the first cross, we had the King of Scrolls. So we have a true pair showing up here. So looking for that partnership, we've got somebody here who can answer that intellect, that philosophical aspect of you that has ideas to add to the mix, who has a lot of ancient knowledge and ancient wisdom. Their third eye is lit up here. And so there's a true pair coming in. And so it looks like you have somebody who wants to be part of your world. I've got that Little Mermaid song coming in. It's like, look at this stuff. Isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think my collection's complete? I could go on, but I won't. I'll save you. If you know it, you know it. And with this King of Keys aspect here, there's 3 kings in this reading now. So it gets to be a little bit confusing in that way. Perhaps there are multiple individuals that you're trying to draw in for a group endeavor. That could definitely be the case. But if this is something else where you're looking for a one-on-one romantic engagement, it looks like there are potentially either multiple aspects of the masculine coming through in different ways, or there are multiple suitors for the feminine potentially. The increscent moon, to me, is very much of an artist. And so an artist can be somebody who's an artist of words or emotions or so many things. Architecture is art. There's so many things. Gardening, that inner landscape, is art. And picking up the old arts is a form of art. And so in everything that you're doing, you're really molding and sculpting your manifestation by the light of the moon, sort of. And it looks like your castle is in sight. You have a few more things that you can put into the right position as you go. But under the deck even, I wanted to show you, it says that you are on track. And this is the second ace? Yeah, so 2 aces. This one is the Ace of Scrolls, which is the sword suit. Oh yeah, and there's 2 queens. I forgot to say that. So there's only one true pair here in the mix though, because we've got the King of Keys and the King of Roses, but we've got the Queen of Forces. So yeah, there's possibly 3 single people and a married pair that are working together in this. You may be one of the married pair. It could show up in a bunch of different ways. Let's not get caught up in the details. So let's get an oracle card from the Whispers of the Ocean Oracle and give us a little bit more of a honed in direction. What are we looking at here? Advice or guidance for the viewer. 15, adrift in shallow water. Take a few deep breaths and reconnect to your inner peace. Notice the small things and appreciate them. You're taking in a lot of details, and the small things also, let's not let this be this burning down of this old ship and old failures, so to speak, to be the only thing that gains your attention. Dig deeper, look deeper. You're not being told that you are not here to create great things, but you're just being alchemized and redirected here and there to pick up more life experiences along the way. The more that you can clue into the little tiny things that are part of your gratitude journey, the more it will bring you up from feeling so deep and heavy underwater. This is 27 under the deck. Push to the surface. You may have become complacent or lost in some type of a way because of feeling so despondent or apathetic or like unmet, misunderstood. But choose to walk a different path. Choose to speak a different narrative into existence because it's here for you. So if you have become complacent or anxious in some way, you might be stalling in a beginning or in need of a new surge of energy. Become aware of the dynamics of your life at this time. So, yeah, you could have even been in shallow relationships and you're just looking for something that is going to match your energy and inspire you and turn you on, quite literally, whether it's an endeavor or a relationship. It's like we want to be in our passion. So that's why that Queen of Forces comes up there as an aspect of you that wants to be magnetizing these new situations and wants to be up to the task of meeting these new situations and opportunities as they arrive. So if you've been dealing with any type of depression or complacency, let's get you a further card to help us push to the surface. Oh, you are at the threshold, it says. Number 39, the threshold. So this is a beautiful card about breaking through. It's like you've been running a race. You've been on this journey, and it's saying that there is a homecoming in sight. You've been on, again, there's that journey. You've been on this journey, and it's like somebody's about to be like, land ho, castle ho. Oh, I don't know. That one just sounded a little weird, but yeah, you've been on this long journey here, and it's time for you to come home to your abundance, to feel more comfortable in your own skin. So this might be a breakthrough energy that has you choosing to get out of the house more and do more things, because we've got the collective of the Southwest, and this is a really interesting card. It may be also like being around the right type of people, because you see in this card that there's a bunch of knots in their hair which are all entwined with each other, and then there's these hamsters running on hamster wheels within the knots of their hair, birds nesting in their hair, and then the three ladies here are shown like hear no evil, speak no evil, see no evil type of a depiction. And so there's certain people that are not prepared for the waking up. They're stuck in groupthink, meshing their ideas with everything that's been done before. Like, let's say you're manifesting a new build and you need money for this, but do you? Or what if everybody donates a whole bunch of labor hours? What if everybody's like, oh, I've got all these 2x4s that Habitat for Humanity is going to donate to your cause? And then you've got it. And you've got the blueprints. So putting them into place. But if you're not ready to manifest and the only opportunity you see is a loan, then you'll be paying that back for the next however many years. And so even though most places have a very hierarchical, patriarchal structure that they will tell you that you need, if you're going to build something, you should have 4 walls and a roof and a foundation, and it should probably have corners and all of this other stuff. But now we see these very elegant and graceful adobe buildings or earthship buildings where they've got curved walls and lines. They've got circular windows and stained glass windows and so on. And so how would we ever have known how beautiful that was if we never tried it? And it looks like you are breaking free from some type of expected type of development, and you've got your own plans, and they, whether they're ahead of their time or they just take certain individuals, it's like you want to work with the individuals that instead of closing their minds or ears or eyes or mouths and saying, oh, we don't do that here, we don't challenge the established order, you're wanting people that close off the external world and tune into their intuition. You want someone who will ponder the lotus of enlightenment rather than judgmental projections, and somebody who will not speak evil or negatively over something and say, we haven't tried that actually, maybe we could, let's see where it goes, or let's just see how this initial thought could develop if we have brainstorming sessions, versus people who just shut something down and say, nope, I don't know what you're talking about, I'm not ready to look at that, and so on. So let's see. Let's close it out with just some of these handwritten cards. So what is this threshold for you? I kind of want to grab this other deck. I've got 2 decks of handwritten cards. I'm going to transfer them all onto the note cards so that I can shuffle them more efficiently, because this little shape deck is getting a little bit clunky. Spelling, mind your mind, guard your tongue, thoughts become reality. Exactly. And that's that gerbil mind, that hamster mind, that if somebody hasn't seen something, they're like, oh, well, I tried that, it didn't work for me, so it's not going to work for you. Well, if you believe it is, or if you believe it isn't, then you're right, because you create your reality. And whatever you think and believe is the way it's going to be. So maybe you're going to move in silence until you get the right people on board, and not tell everybody everything that you're doing, so that they don't have that ability to send their negative projections. Yeah, it's been putting you into overthinking the way that people are projecting, and it's costing you your ability to be in your positive mental attitude and flow state. So the law of attraction, the law of abundance is very powerfully at work in this situation. And so if you've been thinking the worst of something, then there's some type of way that you'll need to transmute some of that stress, that nervous energy, to balance out, counterbalance yourself here with that. Yeah, the counterbalance. This is what you're hoping for, to counterbalance your own energetic forcefulness. Like maybe you've been feeling a little bit bipolar recently. I do believe we're heading right into eclipse season at the time of this reading. But yeah, there's been some overlooked opportunities while you were dealing with restabilizing your energy. And it looks like you may have been in an unequal exchange. We've seen that in several different cards already, and it's been costing you energy. You've been overcompensating for somebody that has not been able or willing to meet you halfway. So there's a need for greater give and take and sharing of resources, sharing of ideas, the brainstorming sessions. So that's going to help you to push to the surface, to recognize who is the proper builder for you to be engaged with. We get Animal Whisperer again, so that's very interesting. So maybe spending time with your animals is part of your quest or your calling. Interesting. What else? Signs and synchronicities may be something you want to take a closer look at. We also have somebody may be pretending not to watch you winning, but they keep noticing it and noticing it. That's interesting. So yeah, it doesn't matter if they want to see you succeeding or not. Just know that they don't need to give you any validation. Your cup is already full here. Go ahead and be your own cheerleader here in a way, and do your best to reframe those narratives into, because we've got winning coming out back to back here, because if they're projecting like, oh, well, you're so busy, you're never going to take a break. That doesn't look like success to me. And you can be like, yeah, but when you're passionate about your work and you're doing what you love, you never work a day in your life. So my work is play. That's a winning narrative. You also have, you say it best when you say nothing at all. So don't give them the time of day, and take back your narrative. You're reawakening parts of them that they feared were long gone, or somebody is reawakening you. You're coming across as informed, experienced, articulate, and born to lead. That's beautiful. So somebody might feel displaced, like you're going to outshine them, take their spot. But we've been having that stinky reading or energy in the previous two readings, and I don't want to go there again. This one's been on a nice high note. What about the people that you're attracting into your life? Maybe gather more information, wait and see. Somebody that you've had your eye on, potential, but you'll have to test the waters. We've also, about this new person coming in, is there someone specific you're looking for guidance on? Silent moves, overriding the old cache memory or akashic memory, might need to defragment, detox, or upgrade. Remember, we talked about breaking it down into the constituent parts so that all the resources are liberated, your resources being liberated. So maybe you got to tear something apart that you thought was already perfect and rebuild it from scratch. I'm not sure, but you are definitely having a new perspective on something. So perhaps it's not that there's anything wrong with your situation, but maybe it was just that you were around the wrong people. There's a promotion of your gifts and talents on the horizon. There's been a mismatch of energy thus far, and there is a new trajectory here for you to follow. So aim true. There's heightened self-awareness of what you want, what you deserve and desire, and you're ready to feel that passionate intensity with that fire energy coming in. Oh, center stage. All eyes are about to be upon you, and don't pay any mind to somebody's projected inadequacies. You are in a state of exponential growth. It might be hard. It might be tough to get through there, but your witchy ways are pulling you through. You are a primetime manifester. My love language is activated. I'm ready to pour into you. The universe is ready for you, and you're ready for the universe. And so putting your heart, mind, and soul into this new narrative and speaking it into existence is part of the way that you're going to be able to take it easy and to start being magnetic and to receive all the wonders of the universe without working yourself to the bone. So sending you so much love, so much clarity and peace in this time of transition. And check back for the other readings. And if I didn't say so, we've got a special going on August only of 2025, 20 minutes pre-recorded for 2222.